Okay guys, it's Adri Theron again with another Otome game route review. My route reviews do go into spoilers. Probably should have mentioned that in the other videos, but oh well. My overall game reviews that I'll do after I finish the routes, I'm not actually going to go into spoiler territory. So, my goal is to keep these quick though. So, let's get to it. Let's see, album. Today, this is my last route review for Amnesia. We are going to do Ukyo. Ukyo is my favorite route. Probably just because, like, it's really like, so Ukyo is that secret route, which everyone knows about this point because this game is old. Ukyo is that secret route, and it just explains so much of what the fuck is going on that just doesn't get touched by any other routes. I'm a sucker for those routes. Those are typically my favorite routes because they actually explain what the fuck is going on. So let's put up Ukyo's video in the background while we talk. So, Ukyo is fucking nuts. He is the Joker world that you will finally get the option to pick in the common route, the 2-second common route. He's the Joker world, and his color scheme is green. Once you play through everyone else, his option will pop up on the common route for you to select. Mainly, he's locked to be last because, he's been killing you in all the other routes. And it's like, what do you mean I'm gonna romance my killer? What kind of game is this? This is rated teen. What kind of game is this? So, yeah, Ukyo. Ukyo is crazy. He's been killing you in all the other routes. He's actually fairly normal in this route. Like, my last video was Toma. Toma is actually insane. I love it, but Toma is actually insane. Ukyo, his insanity does get explained, and I understand that a hell of a lot more than Toma. But, so Ukyo is this tragic figure. He is a photographer. He has long hair. It's green. It's pretty. You kind of just want to run your fingers through it. He's super sweet. He's also kind of a crybaby. And it's kind of wild that he's been killing you so much. So in his route, you're like, I do love the world you're in because you're friends with everybody. Like all the characters, had like, maybe you kind of knew them or were close to them, not so much in all the other routes. Everybody is your friend. Even Rika, who kind of like killed you in Ikki's route more or less, and been kind of antagonist in all the other routes. Rika's your friend in Ukyo's world. Which is nice and refreshing, because she is still kind of crazy. She's just not crazy at you. You're also like decent friends with Ikki. You, Ikki, and Rika are, hang out and stuff. That's kind of nice. Everyone works at the cafe. Waka's kind of like, doing his Waka thing. He's a little bit different. Waka is decent friends with Ukyo. They like to talk about photography. So, go to the gallery. Talk about Ukyo. So, come to find out, you met Ukyo back in March in Kobe. While you were on a trip visiting this place. Just so happened, he is also, he is from here, but eventually, like, his parents went abroad, so he's been overseas for the longest time and has come back to Japan. So that's cool. And then he randomly meets you again on August 1st at your front of your school. And you're like, and he's like, oh, hey, welcome back. And you're like, he's like, nice to meet you again. And I'm like, you're like, shit, I don't have any memories. Do I know this person? And he's kind of like, he's kind of weird. He's kind of like, oh, maybe we haven't met in this world. Maybe you lost your memories. So he knows about all the different worlds. That's pretty clear going into it real quick. Obviously the main character is kind of ditzy and Orion's kind of ditzy. They don't pick up on stuff. But since you've played through all these routes, you're like, oh, yeah, this makes sense that he's been in every world. So he knows about the different worlds, which is weird because only spirits should know about the different worlds. And this route does talk a little bit more about the spirits and gods than the other routes, which is nice and cool. Not in great detail. But yeah, and the entire time that you're playing the game, like obviously Ukyo really likes you. He even says he loves you. Pretty quickly actually. But he's also like, stay away from me. I'm dangerous. I'll hurt you. And you're like, danger? I like danger. I want to be near you. I want to kiss you. I want to touch you. I want to get to know you. So like all your route options for the good end are pretty much like, oh, hey, let's go ahead and say hi to Ukyo. I know he just warned me to stay the fuck away, but let's go. He has a good end, a normal end, and then he has 7 bad ends. 7, guys. I'm like, I was like, hey, you know, it does make sense because he's like, you know, been killing you quite a bit. So of course he has 7 bad ends. He also sleeps all the fucking time. And when you try to sleep him, he gets very angry. His angry side comes out. So if you haven't picked up by now, kind of this is shown in the other routes too, Ukyo has a split personality. He has his good happy side that's like, I love you. And he has his evil side that's like, I'm going to murder you. And you're like, oh, I like the good side. Not so much the bad side. The bad side's kind of scary. And Orion's like, get the fuck away. He's like, I'm less dangerous if I sleep outside. So he sleeps outside like a hobo rather than his apartment. I guess maybe he's worried when he's in an apartment, he'll wake up and do bad things. Oh yeah, let's show angry. So yeah, this is when you wake him and he's angry and he's like, I'm going to murder you. And you know what? He does this once and you go back. Go back to him, guys. Don't do that in real life. This is an otome game. This is fantasy. It's fine, but not in real life. Not fun. So you also like go to find the fireworks. Ukyo's route is pretty easy to get through. Like pretty much all the bad ends are just like you make the wrong choice, like you go left instead of right, and if you go left, you die. So his route was pretty easy to get through and complete. It's also super sweet. I know the anime goes into his route quite a bit. The anime is super good, guys. I promise. You guys should really go watch the anime, 100%. Ukyo is super sweet. I really like his route. He's just sweet. And look, here he kisses you. Aww. And you're like, what? So as you go through this route, you're kind of slowly noticing that there's something kind of wrong with him. There's a couple times like he's like, hey, I'll stay with you tonight, but I'm gonna cuff myself to the bed so I won't hurt you. So I would like to say what has been shown throughout this game is this main character has no self-preservation. It's just like, oh, you want to hit me? Sure, whatever. She has no sense of self-preservation. Like if a guy says, I'm gonna murder you, I might hurt you, like you should go away from him. He has such cute CGs. And then here's him with his angry face and he's choking you. And you're like, I still love him. So let's talk about what the fuck is going on with Ukyo anyway, because here's another like, I have a knife and I'm gonna kill you. CG. So, come to find out, and yeah, this is where Ukyo does kind of sort of die at the end. But this is a otome game, he comes back to life. Well, he can. So let's talk about the gods. So this is Nil, who is Orion's master. Orion's kind of mentioned him like once in the other routes, I think. But yeah, he looks like a big Orion. And he is a god. He has more power than Orion. So what you start to find out is that Ukyo, in his original world, you guys meet in Kobe, and then he meets you in July, back in Tokyo, or whatever you are, and you guys fall in love and have a great little romance. And then on August 1st, there's an explosion at your school. You blow up, you go into a coma, and you die on August 25th. So, Ukyo cries out to the gods and is like, give her life. And Nil, being a crazy god, just being like, hey, I want to learn more about humans, fulfills wishes. And he's like, oh, Ukyo, I'll fulfill your wish. Causes them to kind of merge, kind of like you and Orion. And he's like, well, you know, and Nil's like, okay, I don't have the power to bring people back to life. That's not possible. But, let's go to another world. And what you find out is in most of the other worlds, Ukyo and the main character do not exist in the same world at the same time. And the world does not like what does not belong there. So it kills Ukyo to get rid of him. And it kills him in really terrible, awful ways. But Ukyo's wish is to see you alive past August 25th. So he has to keep hopping to between worlds, trying to see you live past August 25th. Except for almost all of the worlds where you both exist, he's getting murdered and pushed out. So this is apparently going on for a long ass time and jumping many worlds, like Ukyo's fully depleted Nil's powers. And eventually, Ukyo goes fucking crazy. Because it's either he dies or you die. So he kills you. So that's why he's killing you on all these other routes. That's why he's making all these different like little tidbit comments about, oh, Waka's like this in the other world, or like he knows what Toma's gonna do to you, and he's like, hey, don't pick between Toma and Shin. That's not gonna end well if you choose one of them. Which again, pointing back to like in Shin's route, when you pick Shin, Toma gets kind of jealous and accidentally almost kills you. And then if you pick Toma, Toma's fucking crazy and traps you in a cage. So Ukyo knows. He also knows about all the Rika fans and stuff. He knows about all the ways you could die. So this entire time you're going through this route, he's like, oh yeah, don't go here on this day. This will happen. And you're like, huh? And he's like, oh yeah, don't go near this well. And you're like, he's like, if you fall in it, there's mud and mold at the bottom. You won't be able to get out and you'll drown. And you'll sink into it. That's how you died. That was one of the ways you died in Toma's route, I believe, or one of the previous guy's routes. You actually fall in a well and drown in there. So yeah, Ukyo's experienced that. He's experienced crazy amount of deaths. But you know what? He still loves you and you still love him. So at the very end of this route, you and Toma are both facing off against the world, because in this world where you both exist, you're supposed to die. And what happened in this world is Nil was able to rewind time, I guess. I don't know exactly how that works. If he can't bring back, people from the dead, why can he, rewind time? Whatever. That's also why it's fucking snowing in August. So he's like, you can rewind time, but not the weather. It's kind of weird. I'll be honest. So, yeah. So the world is trying to kill you because you're in the original world where you and Ukyo both exist, but you are destined to die. So the world is trying to kill you various ways. Apparently, because Orion merged with you, the world kind of recognizes you as something other, so it doesn't try to kill you as much as it could. It's not trying to kill you every 5 seconds, just like every other day. So as you regain memories of your past with Ukyo, which again is technically didn't happen, really, kind of, sort of. Orion starts to get separated from you, and as Orion gets separated, the world starts to recognize you as you again, and it starts to kill you even more. So you're like, okay, run, dodge, run, dodge. Oh shit, this thing's about to fall. Stop, jump and roll. And then you have the world killing you, and you also have Ukyo trying to go into crazy mode and kill you so that he doesn't die again. So, in the good end, love wins. Ukyo kills himself to stop him from killing you because he knows in this world you can survive, and you make it to August 25th alive. Now, and Nil talks to you and Orion talks to you, and they're like, blah, 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 explain everything. And eventually, you can either forgive Ukyo or you cannot. If you don't forgive him, that goes to the normal end, and he kind of ceases to exist. I do think this is kind of a good end because he's like, I've died 1,000,000 times and I remember all of it. He's like, I'm tired. So you kind of just let him fade, but then you're super sad because you love him. And then another option, this is the good end, and you're like, no, I know you killed me 1,000,000 times, but I understand why. And that's your crazy personality, and that's going to go away, right? Right? That should go away, right? But we're going to be together forever. I do kind of find, my personal opinion is I know otome games don't really have canon routes, but I do view Ukyo as a pretty much canon route for this game. This is the be-all end-all. So yeah, and you guys live together. Of course, Orion and Nil have been effing around in the human world, which is, they really shouldn't be, and they're going to receive punishment. So eventually you and Ukyo do kind of see, look, it's Nil and Orion, and they have been turned into humans, I guess, as their punishment, which is not really a super bad punishment, if I do say so myself. And also, kind of works out in Nil's favor, because he was like, yeah, I want to learn more about humans. Well, guess what, buddy? You're going to learn. So Ukyo is my favorite route in this game. So it's just it's tragic, it's twisty, it explains everything. He's hot. He's a little bit of a crybaby. I'm not a fan of that, but whatever. But he's he has a good heart, and he's I love you. He loves you. There is no doubt. He travels worlds and dies a million times to see you because he loves you. So he's my favorite rat in this game. He's also crazy. I'm going to assume in the fan disc he's no longer crazy, and that when they fix this, he no longer has his evil side. I haven't played the fan disc, I don't know. I'm going to die laughing if the evil side is still kind of around a little bit and you have to deal with that. That would be hilarious. I assume that it's gone, right? It's gotta be gone. I ordered the fan disc, guys. I ordered it. It will be here. It will be here. I gotta play through Cupid Parasite, and I'm thinking my villainous otome game, and I kind of want to do that before I go to the fan disc. But the fan disc will happen. I can't wait for it. So yeah, for me, this route, again, like, I would say 9 out of 10 for me, just because I love the lore drops and stuff. Ukyo is like a wonderful male character. He's so sweet. I really do like it. I'm easy to please though. Like, I don't think I could ever rate games really super low. Maybe Period Cube. Period Cube is bad. I don't remember what happened in that game. I just remember it being bad and being like, oh man, what did I? But yeah. So that's it for the Amnesia routes. My next video on Amnesia will be a should you play, and that one's not going to go into super spoilers. It's just going to talk about the game in general, so on and so forth. But yeah, hope to see you next time. Bye bye.